Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today. If you're watching this video, this is actually filmed on June 30th. Just about everything you've seen so far has been filmed earlier this year, beside the Golden Mocha video. In fact, I haven't even received it yet, so when that is posted in early July, if I receive it by then, that's new. Everything else is a bit more older. My recording studio is near complete, and you'll see more current videos after this one. So let's get into Wild Vanilla Orchid by Floral. So this one was released in 2017. It is definitely one of the more sweeter ones from the collection. I'm not hugely into sweet scents anymore, which is why I only have a 10ml on me. Nevertheless, it's probably one of the more unisex ones. A lot of them do say they're unisex, but realistically lean feminine. But we'll get a tiny bit more into that later. So the notes simply consist of vanilla cashmere, ambroxan, cassis, lemon, bamboo, jasmine, sandalwood, patchouli, and orchid. These travel sizes actually feel a lot more premium, say, than to Mason Margiela / replicas, which are a little cheap feeling. These actually feel a lot more premium. I feel if I was actually to drop this on concrete, it would probably withstand it. The replica range would definitely shatter upon impact. Anyway, let's give it a spray. Quite a nice misty atomizer in this one. So it's definitely quite intoxicatingly sweet, teetering on the point of being maybe a little too much, but without overcrossing that boundary. It's for the people who do like their sweeter scents. Obviously, you get a ton of vanilla, and to be honest, that's how it kind of stays for me. You do get a tiny bit of sandalwood as it develops, a hint of patchouli, which gives it an almost earthy tonality. However, the bamboo is quite minimal. I love notes of bamboo. A lot of people have said this is quite similar to Poets of Berlin, which I do own myself, and I don't really see the similarity, and I'm definitely quite outnumbered with people who agree that it does smell like that, but I know Poets of Berlin too well inside out. I'm not going to turn this into a comparison video, but to me Poets is a lot more fruitier, and this is a lot more vanilla-centric. And Poets also has a completely different transformation. It develops a lot more complex. But anyway, back to this one. This one does dry down quite quick though. The cashmere does come out a tiny bit more on the base, delivering an almost light musky tonality blended with those woods. But its selling point is definitely the opening. After it dries down, it does get a hint softer. So even though it's got a pretty loud first impression, where some people might consider it a bit too sweet, just give it a tiny bit of time, and even what I do, I usually spray my clothing an hour before I go out for the super sweet scents so that they dry down a little more subtly. So the reason I actually bought this isn't because I want to wear this by itself. It actually makes for a brilliant layering fragrance due to its heavy vanilla notes. If you just want to give something a bit more power, chuck this on, enhance it with something else. I've tested it, tried it, I've quite liked it. Obviously nothing too niche. I wouldn't want to really layer my beautiful Poets of Berlin with this, but especially for some of my more basic woody scents, it really does add another element to the mix. Whatever I was to wear, I'd spray half as many times of this and double down on the main element of what I'm actually wearing, just so that this kind of sits in the background without overtaking it. So do wear it sparingly. It does have a beautiful sillage. It is quite prominent within the first few hours. I think vanilla is a pretty popular note in perfumery at the moment. It has been for the past few years. It never really seems to die out. So if you like something very simple or you're shopping for someone, it's a safe enough blind buy, but it does lean a little more to the feminine side, as there's a very mild floral undertone to it. That being said, it's also on the cheaper side too, so it does make for a good gift for someone a little more younger who doesn't really fully appreciate perfume yet. I guess this one smells a lot like probably someone aged maybe 14 to maybe in their early 20s. Nothing stopping anyone any older from wearing it. Some perfumes do smell like they have a certain age to it. So I've sprayed it a few minutes ago now, and it has dried down quite softly. It's almost a bit powdery as well. So this one's actually an EDP. It's got 20% perfume oil in it. It's one of the few brands which are actually quite transparent with how much they put in there. So technically it should last between 8 to 9 hours, but realistically I probably get about 4 hours of good performance before it starts to die down quite a bit, and then by the 6 or 7 hour mark it becomes a bit of a skin scent. Comparing it to my Poets of Berlin though, I definitely get all day longevity out of that one. So overall, considering it's quite on the cheaper side of perfumes, it does make for a good gift for someone a little younger, just beginning their perfume journey. I think anyone of their age group will eat this up. It's not as suitable for someone probably in their mid to late 20s, but as I mentioned, I'm only using this to layer it with other fragrances to enhance them, give them a tiny bit more of a vanilla tonality. I believe the whole line of the brand come in either 10, 50 or 100ml, so you have got a pretty diverse range of choices, but otherwise give something like Electric Rhubarb a shot. That's quite nice, as well as Wonderland Peony as well, and of course their latest release, Sweet Almond Blossom. So if you're looking for a budget-orientated fragrance or a gift for someone a little more on the younger side, or you just want a plain old vanilla scent, definitely the way to go. It's pretty reasonable for what you pay for. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.